What was the real reason that Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul in the Netflix premiere? I'm gonna tell you in this video. You know it, it's money. But why one of the best boxers in all time at age 58 accepted to fight with Jake Paul? So there are two careers that we have to understand. First of all, Mike Tyson. During his career, he made more than $400 million. Imagine, when he fought Evander Holyfield, he made $25 million. When he fought Lennox Lewis, he made $20 million. So he was just making money all the time during his prime, when he was world champion. And he made so much money that everyone would think, well, you're all set up. You're like Michael Jordan or like Tiger Woods. Well, he made it a lot of mistakes, and that's what we're gonna analyze in this video. Number one, he spent lavishly. Because you might think, if you're earning 20 million per fight, you will have that money forever. Well, ask Nicolas Cage. He also got hundreds of millions of dollars and he goes to bankruptcy. Well, the same happened to Mike Tyson. He started to spend like crazy, like it was not tomorrow for him. Just to give you an example, remember the Bengala tigers that Tyson had? It cost them more than $70,000 per tiger. Just caring of them was $50,000 per year. So you will think, well, with 20 million, I could have my tigers forever. Well, in his birthday party, he spent more than $500,000, and even Donald Trump attended that. And one of the crazy things that he did is that he bought a bathtub covered in gold, a $2 million bathtub, and he gave away to one of his ex-wives. So what happened? Well, it happens to a lot of people in sports and spectacle. They have terrible financial management. And this proves that it doesn't matter how much you earn, if you don't save or invest in a smart way, you can lose it all. And that happened to Mike Tyson. Imagine, you make 400 million during your career, you are in the top of the world, everyone knows you, and then in one point, you go bankrupt, you owe the IRS in the States money, you owe the British government money, and then you just end with minus $23 million. So that happened to Mike Tyson. From 400 plus to minus 23. So what would you do in those cases? Well, he tried to use his name to launch some businesses, but they failed because he's not a businessman. And as we can see through his career, he either didn't listen to his financial managers or he had the worst financial managers in history. And that's something that you should always take care. So what happened? Well, he said when he was 54, okay, I'm going to do an exhibition match. And he got paid $10 million. And that's the money that he currently had before the fight with Paul. So he was going on shows. Remember, he got convicted. And then you have Jake Paul. I'm going to tell you how much Tyson just made for this fight. But now let's compare the life of Jake Paul. Jake Paul started as a Disney guy. He started acting, he started playing, dancing. And then he became YouTuber with his brother Logan, who is very smart and created the Prime brand. And these guys are incredible in the business and aspect. Because there are two things. With Jake Paul, you know about him because in 2020, just very recently, he said, oh, what about if I just go into boxing and transform and give back that show that the boxing had in the 90s? Yes. So he's starting to do these exhibition fights with people that were ex-UFC fighters or that were not in the prime. But because he was a YouTuber, he was always underestimated. That's the key thing. So he trained very hard. He used all his time to become a professional boxer. And what happens with Jake Paul? Most people hate him. But as Donald Trump has said, love it or hate him, they're talking about him. And that's what drives him. Because at the end, he started making a lot of money for each one of these fights. And he became the most hated boxer. But the most hated boxer with great capabilities for social media, so he's the most followed boxer in the world in social media. Then he organized all these fights. And then, in a smart way, he convinced Netflix to host their first live boxing show. And that's the key thing. So he convinced Netflix so he can keep doing these processes. And then he said, who's the best person in the world that we can launch the best boxing show ever? Well, it's the undefeated champion, Mike Tyson. Well, you can see that Tyson lost when he started biting other people's ears. I remember that fight. Great fight. But then he convinced Netflix, and when you see the match, and I just saw it, he got paid $40 million for the fight. So Jake Paul gets $40 million. And Mike Tyson, he gets paid $20 million. So now Tyson, which was in a very dire financial situation, he's much better. And as you can see, all the promotional material, it was showing by Netflix that Tyson was becoming better. But they were just showing like 30-second clips of Tyson really do it. And if you watch the fight, and if you don't watch it, you can see that Tyson, of course, he's a 58-year-old guy, and everyone was tricked to think that a 50-year-old guy, even he was the world champion in his time, could have a chance against a 27-year-old professional fighter. So the key things and the key learners is that Jake Paul is a master in marketing. He cannot be the best boxer, but he doesn't need it. He's making more money than the people that are professional fighters. Just check the entrance. He entered with a modified car with his brother. While Tyson, he entered very serious, and during the fight, I had the impression that please don't kick him so hard. Like literally, you can see from the third round, and it's just 2-minute round, that Jake Paul was already winning in the third round. But he didn't go hard on Tyson because he knew that his image could get affected. Remember, that was the key thing, keeping his image. He won by judge decision. But if he wanted, he could have defeated Tyson on the third round. But he didn't went to it. It was just calculated. I don't know if you saw it. Sometimes it was that even practice this, that Jake will try to do this and Tyson will go down and then accommodate. Yes, it was all prepared. It's a spectacle. And just the last part, just think about the bettings. So the bettings, it had Jake Paul winning 70% probability. And in one point in Polymarket, in the centralized prediction marketplace, it was up to 54%. So that was a great point. People were thinking and losing money with the probability of Tyson defeating Paul. No, it was never that probability. As soon as you saw the first round, you knew Tyson was going to be defeated. But not by knockout, because Jake Paul decided not to do it. How do we know it? Think about the last round and the last 10 seconds, what Paul did. Literally, he did this. Thank you very much. Yes, because Paul is a genius in marketing. So yeah, that is the reason that Mike Tyson went back to boxing, because he made all his money, he lost it all, and this was his chance to get respect again and to get $20 million purse. What do you think about? Leave it up in the comments below. And subscribe.